Did you know that funeral homes used to provide transport service for the sick and injured before there were ambulances? Back in the 60s was when the first time ambulance service was thought of here in Tennessee. However, the first ambulance service was in New York in 1869, according to Meditest that I did on research. I've done research on the history of our local EMS service, and we'll talk about their inception, their growth, and what they have become today. According to our Bedford County government's website, in 1966, the local funeral homes here in Shelbyville gave notice to the county and the city officials that they would no longer be providing transport for the sick and injured due to high costs and demands. This prompted the city and county to come up with an ambulance service, which they hadn't had before, and they did so in 1970, called the Shelbyville Bedford Ambulance Authority. They began running one station with 2 ambulances, actually right across the street on Lane Parkway. They had 8 men that were employed at the time. All were just trained in basic first aid. They actually ran Hearst-style ambulances, like the one pictured here that I got from the Bedford County website as well. They kept running this same station with the 2 ambulances there up until 1983, and that is when the Bedford County Commissioners took over the ambulance service, and it became known as the Bedford County Emergency Medical Services, which is what it's still called today. In 1985, they began hiring paramedics. Before this, it was just EMTs. If they hired somebody that wasn't an EMT, they were just drivers until they could obtain their EMT license. Once they started hiring paramedics, they were able to obtain their A rating, which was providing ALS service on each unit that they sent out in response. Once they reached 1999, it took them that long to build a second station. That was when Madison Street Station was built on the east side of town due to rising call volume and a growing population here in town. With that rising population and growing call volume, they saw the need that they would need more stations very quickly after that, and by 2009, they had actually grown to a total of 5 stations countywide, and running an ambulance out of each of them. Union Street Station, the Madison Street Station, Unionville, Bell Buckle, and Op Center. By 2020, they were able to start teaching their very own EMT class here in Bedford County. And I was actually in the very first EMT class that ours, Bedford EMS, was able to teach. And this is actually a picture of the graduating class number 1 that I attended. They are now grown to where they are teaching EMT advanced classes as well, and we have guys here at our department that will be taking part in those classes here very soon. Today, they have actually grown to running over 7,000 calls a year. 75% of those calls actually are right here in the city limits, which is our jurisdiction. And I'm sure as we all know, it's a busy, that's what keeps us the most busy around here, is those medical calls helping them. Just like it's been a long growing pain for us over the years, it took them 50 plus years to get from their inception in 1970 to where they are today with 5 stations, employing over more than 40 employees, providing care to a population of over 50,000 people here in Bedford County and Shelbyville.